Maybe.
Okay, well, we're going to hop into the game. Like we said, this is a qualifying match. Winner will go through the wild card qualifier slot for the group stages. Now, someone was actually asking earlier about if the groups have been posted, and they have been, and I've informed all the players. We did have a small problem where I didn't realize everyone would be leaving for Katowice on one of the days, so we're looking to reschedule it. But that aside, all the groups are actually posted. The only question up in the air is, I think it's the SSL conflicts with one of the Korean groups. And for the first European group, or second European group, we had to reschedule to March something for Katowice. So we got to lock those down with the players. But we're going to work with them on their schedules, and we're going to make sure nobody has to forfeit out or do anything weird. So check it out, guys. The groups for EU, Korea, and North America are public. Once we're done with both of the wildcard groups, we'll have those posted up ASAP as well. That being said, Ting continues. In the top left, we've got the red Protoss Goblin.
In the bottom right, as the pink Zerg. Oh boy, it is SolO.
This reminds me a lot of actually when we had Botvinnik, or even Lily Canine, but less Lily Canine because he won. But Botvinnik show up to the finals. We played against Harstum, and we had a lot of assumptions saying like, oh, Harstum's just going to walk through this. It'll be no problem. Pro player versus semi-pro player. But then Botvinnik made Harstum literally shit his pants. Gave him a hard run for his money, and did not lose terribly. Like at one point, it was looking like he might even win. So I don't know much about Goblin, but again, he just took on Penguin, whose best matchup, in my opinion, for what we've cast at least, is ZVP. I'm not sure what he thinks his best matchup is. And SolO's going to have to really work for this. But SolO has been hard working for a long time, and him being in the final qualifying spot, the qualifier match, that is that's an accomplishment and then some, because we haven't seen him get too far in a lot of these tournaments, and I'm glad to see him get here.
Actually, speaking about Botvinnik, really sad he didn't end up qualifying at all. And I guess he's not participating in these wildcard qualifiers because he was like totally hype after almost beating Harsum. I mean, unfortunately, lost for some others. But oh well. Off the Terran hopes. First pylon goes down. It's a little bit annoying. It's a supply block goblin after all, and it takes away his photon overcharge. This is the time where you actually miss the Nexus photon overcharge.
Yeah.
That's done.
I guess that's the downside for a lot of players trying to defend against this. Like, without that photon overcharge, these sort of attacks become a little bit more easy to pull off. Zenny's just reset for 7 months, by the way. Shout out to Zenny Z, as well as Zelane, or Zelane89, new sub hype. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Now, the Nexus is going to die, sadly. But for Goblin, his probe count's not too bad behind this. He can get another Nexus up if he wants. He's going to put down more gateways with a Stargate, however, so not undervaluing the amount of lings on the field, but for SolO, let's not forget, he's still not even that far ahead after knocking down a Nexus. He's actually still got a drone behind this quite a bit.
There's still a game to be played for sure, but it does give him a lot of control with the speedlings being able to potentially get another cancel. Like, it's going to be a while before Goblin can comfortably take his Nexus back, and then I don't even know how we're going to talk about potentially a third Nexus unless Goblin can, two-base all in off the back of losing that Nexus. But SolO has a lot of time to drone, to get a third base. He'll keep tabs on what is coming out of Goblin's base, because what if he did throw down like 4 gateways, is going for like a 5-gate all in or something like that. He's going to want to know, and he's going to want to know if he has to throw down a Roach Warren in particular. So probably the latest that he can, it would be best. But if he really is scared, he can throw it down soon. The Oracle after the Nexus going down is just, I mean, like, what else are you gonna do? You're gonna have a lot of minerals that's supposed to go into probes, and then like a big burst of production, and you didn't get it. So the Oracle at least will get scouting. Like Adepts will probably just die out on the map, and that's not very good use of them. And it might get a couple of drone kills. And it looks like SolO is gonna just throw down that Roach Warren and a lair actually before third base. Maybe afraid of like...
I mean, this is kind of a good map for Nidosworms, and he's got a decent overlord position here in the south.
That's a good point.
I mean, if this was more gases, you could certainly guess towards Mutalisks. Again, we saw it with Penguin as a prime example how good they can be in ZVP, but... So Goblin's name does not match his on the brackets, and I see some confusion in chat, just to let everyone know. This is actually the case quite a bit. Not everyone's challenge name always reflects their in-game name, which is a little annoying, but as long as we can confirm, and we did confirm ahead of time, like, this is actually that guy on the bracket. That way you can't have, like, Snoot play for you on a barcode and be like, oh, yeah, I'm totally this other dude. You know, have Bunny be like, no, I'm definitely Euthermal.
Yeah,
Trust me.
I was just like, has that ever happened? Like, some, like, random guy, like, or, like, it's like at a restaurant, they're calling the name out, you know? And you're just like, yeah, I'm totally that person. Give me the reservation. Has it ever happened on Challenge? I don't think so.
Does that ever work in real life either? I always thought that was like a sitcom trope more than anything else. Like,
I'm almost positive it's worked in real life because they ever check. They never like, okay, here, give me your ID. I gotta check.
Yeah, but then the real person shows up and you're like, well, I never.
Make up like a banana and split.
That was terrible. Shut up.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not as terrible as make like a bread truck and haul buns. That's my favorite.
Yeah. What's that movie? Don't tell me. I was gonna get it.
So a second Stargate. Ooh.
So he's really anticipating that this is gonna be Mutalisk, I guess, from what he saw. Obviously not the case. It's not Nighty Swarm either. I was kind of really hoping for a Nighty Swarm, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Shout out to nice username in chat, by the way. Says that Phil when I go to bed, wake up, and Base Rate TV is still casting.
Heyo.
Yep. We were, of course, casting this morning. We're still casting this afternoon. We're going to be casting again tomorrow. More and more StarCraft all over the place. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the show. And hopefully you're not like Joe, though, where you are crazy derelict on your sleep schedule. This Oracle count, though, is kind of shocking. Not because of the damage it's doing, because of the energy it has banked up to still be doing said damage. He's killed so many of the Ravagers and Roaches.
That was pretty good. And does it make up for everything that's happened in this game? Not quite yet. Goblin is still down by 12 probes. The 2 oracles at a time, though. Ooh, this is an interesting use of double Stargate. It's gonna be such a surprise. They tear down everything when they get to a high enough number. Like, this is no joke. This could tear down Spores, Queens, Hydralisk. I mean,
the hatchery could go down.
A hatchery, yes.
Very
they could
realistically.
definitely tear down a hatchery. What a funny way to respond to our Nilly pool.
Mass Oracle. So there's a player, Nomi. He casts for Take TV now. Nomi was really well known for this really cheesy, gross triple Stargate, but he would, like, in HOTS, he would cannon rush into double, triple Stargate and just go Mass Oracle. And the stupid thing was, it would work against a surprising amount of pro players.
Yeah.
And that's
forgot about that.
That's kind of what I'm reminded of here. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, none of these shoot up. Like, one Mutalisk would shut all of this down. Like, SolO. He's going for fungal growths, which I can understand the thought process on. You see mass amounts of air, you think fungals. Okay, not a bad thought process. Problem is, you might lose all your infestors before you get those money fungals off.
Yeah, I saw the fungals and I was like, well, I guess this is the same response you'd have against like Mass Muta or sometimes even Mass Phoenix if you really wanted to. But against Mass Oracle, I wonder how that dynamic plays out. I don't know. But Aspire, you're right. Like, that would be the easiest answer by far. It's like Liberator range, you know? You could try and move your drones all damn day long, but you could also just try and get Aspire. Goblin, if this is how he won against Penguin, kudos.
Right?
Golf clap, but I don't know. Like, you can only get away with this once, right? This can't happen the second game.
Well, we'll see. He's still not technically gotten away with it yet. Like, it's doing well right now, but this could flop miserably because these are very expensive, hard to replace units, and if they all die to actually like fungals and shit, then it's not worth it in its game. Ektar in chat asks, how long does the Base Rate TV Ting code work for? As far as I'm aware, I don't really know how it works because technically the Shoutcraft America website URL is still in existence, and that was over a year ago. So I don't have an answer. Oh, Fungal doesn't quite hit all the oracles, but it will hit enough. Now, the Queens, unfortunately, are still going to be in range, and the fungal growth damage itself is it's slowly chipping away at about 3 of them. Looks like he's starting to hold this. Pushes back a lot of the oracles. Very gas-expensive units to lose, but still pumping 2 at a time.
Yeah, he's still making them. He's going to go, like, Mass Oracle. With, like, Adepts on the ground? I mean, if SolO's response to this was to get pure Infestor Hydralisk, like, Charge Lots or Resident Glaives Adepts on the ground could take on an army like that. But he doesn't have either of those. And it's not pure Hydra. There's actually a large number of Roaches. So, eventually, SolO's army will beat Oracles. I don't know. I've never gotten the unit tester and tested 200 Oracles versus a 200, Zerg army. Have any of you? Like, maybe that does work. I don't know.
I feel like there's definitely gotta be that one guy on Reddit, because there's always like those things like 500 lings versus an Ultralisk, and they post the GIF and it looks ridiculous. But I guess stasis traps are another thing we forgot to consider. You know, we play goddamn team games with Fear Dragon all the time, and this is all he does. He goes Mass Oracle in a 3v3 and just spams stasis wards all over the map. It's useless. But if SolO's not looking for it and he walks an army into it enough times, this could actually take out so much of the army. It's better than force fields. Nope. There we go.
Oh. Yep. The stasis, like, this is...
this buys so much time, too.
Yes, it does. But this is also something that we saw in the very beginning of Legacy of the Void, where people were actually experimenting with stasis traps, and they could be obnoxious. Like, you just keep running into them as much as you try not to, as much as you try and get detection. I guess that was the last stasis trap for this defensive engagement.
Do changelings trigger stasis traps? I don't actually know.
I think that the changeling in changing form does, but if it's already transformed, it doesn't.
Okay, that'd be so weird to see. Of course, this way, once you realize that the stasis traps are there, you can sacrifice one unit at a time, and it's a lot more manageable, even throwing lings and stuff in there. But oracles come in from the backside. That's a lot of oracles. The fungal growth goes down, but it might not matter. Tries to pair it up with Corsair Biles. That was really cool in concept, but it doesn't play out for SolO. And this weird mass oracle style is going to clean up every single Roach and Ravager on this side of the field.
What?
That's how I'm stuck feeling right now too. What?
He's not even that really in that bad of a position. Like, it sucks you lost most of your ground army. But 3 base to 4 is doable. 49 probes is not great, actually. That's probably the worst part. No upgrades is also pretty bad. But they're oracles, for the love of God. Like, so, I don't...
Since, like, forever, everyone's known energy units in StarCraft 2 can potentially be kind of BS. Whether it's the early infestors, whether it's ravens for Heart of the Swarm. Energy units were always regarded as a little, like, stupid. It's free, you trade up for energy. The Oracle's never been a unit I put in that category. Until this moment. Even when Nomi would win games with it, I never thought it looked so stupid as it does right now.
It does look rather stupid. What's stupid is that they can still be harassment-based units. Like, they gotta be careful with fungals on the field, but, like, if you get around the creep spread, if you get around all the overlords, actually there's, like, no overlords on the map, they could snipe a base. That is dumb, okay? Like, oracle damage is absurd. They can also stasis trap the entire path to Goblin's base. That's also absurd. Things are absurd right now.
Yeah. This is not how a normal PvZ plays out, but that's okay. You know, this is what I would have expected to see in the random tournament we hosted yesterday, where it was random versus random. And nobody, like, knew races, and nobody knew builds. Like, that's how... This is the game I would have expected to see there. Not in the qualifying round for the Ting qualifiers, but... You know what? That's okay. I'm down for that. This is... If this wins, that's phenomenal. If this wins, I want to see a pro player that we know. Like, somebody like Hearthstone pull this off, right? Like, I want to see how that would go, too. Put in someone else's control.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, like, we already wondered if this is how he beat Penguin, you know, and we don't know. We don't know.
Kind of feel like it might have been.
I also wonder if this is just him being like, you know what, I'm being cast. Like, let's do this. Let's just do something crazy because I think I'm gonna lose anyways. And then having like such little pressure on yourself, he's doing better than he would if he was trying to play right up, like straight up.
Well, the attack does come across the map, and the problem is he's still like dodging minefields with these strange stasis traps. We do have Templar in play, but Storm's not available, so I'm not sure what he was hoping. I guess feedback on the infestors, my best guess. Keep those oracles alive. Got to be careful the way he comes in. He's spread out like on 2 different fronts. He wants to come in from 2 different angles to avoid the fungal growth, but ends up making Archons instead of the feedbacks. So these oracles are in danger of getting fungaled. Not giving a single flying fuck, though. He sends them into battle, loses a lot to the Corrosive Biles.
Oh, dear God.
Hydras are starting to finally power through. We question whether this would work. It looked cool for a time, but unfortunately, it appears to not be good enough.
Here's the thing, is that, yes, Corrosive Biles and Fungals could do it.